Thank you all for heeding to our call and for coming back to listen to the good news we have for you. Please, do we have Dr. Ajua Kusichire here? Dr. Ajua Kusichire. Or Mr. Emmanuel Fokuo. Mr. Emmanuel Fokuo, are you here? Okay. Okay, so for this afternoon session, they are not here. For this afternoon session, we'll begin with a presentation from Dr. Johnny Ando Arthur. He's also a senior lecturer at the Department of Psychology, involved in suicidal research too, and he's going to speak to us on media and suicide prevention. Let's welcome him. Dr. Ando Arthur, you are welcome to the stage.
Mr. Chairman is not here. Yes, as we wait for Mr. Chairman, let me share an anecdote before I go on to my presentation. When I was doing my PhD, I was frequenting my school's library a lot. And of course, anytime I went there, I was looking for suicide titles. So oftentimes, I give titles to the librarian. He helps me to pick it. I make order through the librarian. One day, the librarian called me to his office. Gentlemen, come. You have been coming here, and frequently you are looking for suicide titles. Are you okay? So I want to assure all of us that spending time on suicide doesn't necessarily mean that we are not okay. We have a single-minded agenda to work together to prevent suicide. So my presentation is on the media and suicide prevention. The media and suicide prevention. You agree with me that the media plays a critical role in health, communication, and we have come this far also through the tireless effort of the media. And so the media is a major stakeholder in suicide prevention all over the world. But of course, it has also been found that sometimes there are excesses in the media that also give rise to a lot of problems which militate against the progress we want to make in suicide prevention. Next. So I'm going to spend this short minute to take you through evidence on the media's role in suicide prevention. And I'll show you that it is double-edged. Again, I will also show you what WHO has done based on the critical role of the media and sometimes the excesses of the media. WHO has come up with a guideline for reporting of suicidal cases. We will try and draw on some evidence from Ghana to see whether our journalists in Ghana are adhering to the guidelines or not. And of course, we also have to find out what are the factors that influence publication of suicide stories in our media institutions in Ghana. Then, of course, we look at the way forward. Yeah, so next, please. Next. Yeah, so when we are talking about the media as a stakeholder in suicide prevention, 3 questions really come up. The first question is whether the specific presentation of suicide themes in the media reflects the very existing attitudes and opinions of the media men. The way they publish suicide, the way they report on suicide, does it reflect on their own attitudes? That is one key question we usually seek to answer. 2, does the reporting of suicidal acts and or mode of presentation of suicidal acts by the media influence attitudes towards the behavior? As the media is reporting on suicide, does it actually influence the attitudes of their listeners, their readers, their viewers? It's also a key question that comes up. And again, can the mass media be used in suicide prevention? Can we leverage the power of the media to reduce suicides, to prevent suicides? Next. Yeah, so when you're looking at the patterns of suicide from evidence, 2 general patterns are seen in what we call suicide clusters. We have what we call the point clusters, where you could have a report of suicide in a particular place. Let me use my hometown, Anamabu. Assuming something happens in Anamabu, a suicide report is coming from Anamabu, and within a short space of time, a lot of people in Anamabu are taking their lives. So that is what we call point clusters. And we also have mass clusters, where suicide reported in my hometown is actually leading to suicides from other communities beyond my hometown. So mass clusters. So these are 2 key patterns that we see. The way we report and subsequent impact on suicide. It can be localized. It can also be a mass cluster. Next. Yeah, so studies examining the power of the mass media in suicide epidemics are classified into suicidal behavior, whether the stories are on suicide attempt, on suicide planning, on suicide ideation, or on suicide itself. Again, also whether the stories that they are presenting are real stories or they are fictional stories. All these have impact. And then the method of presentation. The method of presentation of these stories. Do we see stories emerging from the print media having these negative outcomes, or we have stories coming from the digital platforms having, much worse negative outcomes? So we look at all this just for us to have an idea where the problems are coming from. Next. Let us look at evidence of copycat suicides. So if we don't report suicide responsibly, it leads to what we call copycat suicides. There are a lot of vulnerable people in the society. And so when they hear, or when they see, when they listen to such stories, they could be emboldened. They could be reinforced to want to also do it. Okay, so in suicide literature and research, there's this phenomenon called weather effect. Weather effect. And in fact, this effect is actually emerging from a very important book written by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, a well-known poet, playwright, a statesman, who is a German. The title of the piece is The Sorrows of Young Werther. It was published in 1774. This is a gentleman who finds himself, going through some problems, and he killed himself. It was a novel, but interestingly, it became a popular novel. And within a short time, more than 2,000 people had killed themselves after the book was what? Was published. The interesting thing about this particular book was that most of the people who killed themselves after reading the book adopted certain lifestyles of the protagonist in that particular story, the weather gentleman. The dress he wore, he had this, fashion sense, blue coat, yellow trousers, and as you can see, most people who killed themselves after reading that story started, also living that fashion sense. So you can see clear implications of what? Imitation, copycatting. Let's move on. Yeah, so apart from that, meta-analysis also has shown that there's an effect of entertainment or maybe a popular person's or maybe a celebrity's suicide on the society. When someone who is so famous does this and it is published irresponsibly, it really can create this problem. So it has been found that, again, real or fictional stories also may have diverse, implications. Obviously, you and I will know very well that when the story is real, then of course, this is something that can embolden somebody. Oh, it is possible that I can do it. This is somebody that I'm living with, going through the same problem. But we are also seeing that even fictional stories, just like I told you, weather story in that book, also had enormous implication. Again, Gold, Jamieson, Roma have also reported that content analysis of newspapers and films in the US reveals substantial opportunity for exposure to suicide, especially among young victims. So demographically, you can see that when we keep on repeating such stories and do so irresponsibly, our younger generation are at risk. They are always seeking ways of what? Of experimenting certain things. They have not developed effective coping skills. And so when we do this and we don't do it well, we can reinforce the act in them. Again, research has also been done by Perkins et al., and he have found that 39% of media items were followed by an increase in male suicides, and 31 by an increase in female suicide. In fact, media items here were more likely to be associated with increases in both male and female suicides. One, if they occurred in the context of multiple other reports on suicide versus suicide occurring at isolation. So you take a typical chronicle, a typical daily guide, a typical graphic, and there is not one story, but several stories of suicide within the same issue. The impact is huge. Again, if they were also broadcast on television, the impact is huge. And of course, if the outcome is suicide, so suicidal outcomes, what some will call completed suicide. No, we no longer use those terms. But some will also call actual suicide. But I will say, and we will say, suicides. When it is about suicides, the implication is also enormous than when it is about suicidal attempts or even ideation. Let's move on. Yes. Again, in Taiwan, research has also shown that the media reporting of suicide is synchronized with increased suicide death during major suicide events, such as a death of a celebrity. Then we have mainland China. So, in fact, in this particular research, it is something that occurred in an industry setting. A company called Foxconn, there was a series of suicides that happened there. And again, it was found out that that suicide also resulted into other people, killing themselves within the same setting. So we cannot underestimate the role of the media. So how we present, how we report suicidal cases has a lot to either hinder our work or promote our work. Let's move on. Now, what are the factors that can likely lead to copycat suicides? What are the factors? One, the way the information is presented, with report situated on the front page. I used to read newspapers a lot, and when I was here, I was on campus here, I was always going to Bush Canteen. There was this newspaper stand. I go there, and I can read all the front page stories and go back home, go back to my room. There are a lot of people who, for so many reasons, cannot even buy the newspaper. So the front page is always what is attracting them. If you are putting such stories on the front page, obviously you are going to have a wider reach to impact people negatively. So when the story is presented, on the front pages, it creates a problem. Then again, mentioning the term suicide in the headlines. There is a way we can report without necessarily even adding or bringing the word suicide in there. If you are really minded about prevention, we need to really take note of some of these things. Again, outlining the specific details of the event. This person took his car, went to this place, bought this, and on this particular day, time of the day, please, there's no need giving the details. There is no need. Then again, the method which is used, as well as the photograph of the victim. Sometimes we even lose sight of the fact that there are bereaved family left behind, with each suicide. And we just go out there and they will put the pictures there. We are told this is not so good. So these are all likely events that can promote copycat suicides. I think we can, we can find a nice way of doing this so that we don't fall victim to some of these things. All right, let's move on. But let us note that not all suicidal reports also lead to copycat suicide. There are very positive stories. There are great stories of the media also engaging in suicide prevention and promotion of life skills. So there is this term called Papagenos effect of the media. Papagenos effect of the media. Again, this is also coming from a story, from Mozart's one of his pieces, where a character wanted to kill himself, because the wife or the girlfriend or whatever, was not, or lost the girlfriend, let me put it that way, and as a result wanted to kill himself. Suddenly he had friends around him who encouraged him and gave him alternative ways of looking at his situation. And then based on that, he didn't carry through that idea of killing himself. So we have coined this concept, Papagenos effect, more or less, to also emphasize the media's role in changing people's mindset about suicide. Media's role in encouraging people to see that there are alternatives. There are alternatives. And so suicide, as we always say, may not be the option. Right, let's move on. Yeah, so evidence again has been shown through research that indeed the media can serve that suicide preventive role. Next. Yeah, so WHO has come up with an updated resource for every media person who is in this area. And we are expecting everyone to just adhere to them. They got this evidence from several suicide researchers across the world and came up with these guidelines. And so if we're here and we're a media person, we expect that, at least from today going, you will be strictly adhering to the WHO guidelines. Let us just go through a few of these guidelines, the do's and the don'ts. Let's move on. Next slide. Yes, so quickly, the do's. Yeah, put them there, please. So please, do provide accurate information about where to seek help. As a media, whenever these stories come, please, we should not end a story without providing some information people can get help from. You don't just publish the issue, but whilst publishing it and doing it so responsibly, you must also, try to say something about where people can get help. In fact, you can even mention crisis helplines. I don't know whether in Ghana we have something like that. Yes. So you can't just publish suicide, a story without giving an indication where somebody can get help, and crisis helplines, and even professionals, both within academia and outside academia, who can help, and even mutual help groups, in Ghana. Thank God, an NGO like Rienglo is doing so well. We all can let people know that yes, help is available, and we need to let them know where exactly they can have it. So let us provide accurate information. And again, we must also educate the public. You must have a sense of you using your story to educate the public, not just putting it out there just for commercial reasons. Then again, we should also report stories of how to cope. Indeed, you cannot take suffering, adversity from the equation of humanity. It is part of life. And mental health, one of the key definitions is ability to cope. And so we all may find ourselves in one adversity or the other. Can't we use our media to let people know that, yes, this may happen, but you can still, cope with it? And you see, one of the best ways you can do it is you can use personal narratives of people who have gone through adversities and have overcome. It has a strong effect on people who are contemplating suicide. So let people who have gone through adversity just come out there and share their experiences. You will know that, after all, I'm not the only person who is in it. Someone has gone through it before, and the person is doing well. So we've got to do that. Again, we must also apply particular caution when we are reporting celebrity suicides. Obviously, when a big person, a famous person, does that, it attracts public attention. But we must be careful. Because if you don't do it well and we glamorize it, what we're going to do now is that we are going to now incentivize, that very act. Meaning that when you also do it, you will be in the public, in the headlines. Rather, we should emphasize on what that celebrity has done. And how that suicide will impact negatively on society. So we need to be very responsible and cautious whenever we are publishing suicidal stories of such people. And of course, we must also apply caution when interviewing bereaved families or friends. In fact, I will show you an extract from somebody that I interviewed who lamented how the media virtually pestered her when she was grieving the loss of her son. There's no sensitivity. We just want to put something out there. We want to sell our story. But these are human beings who have lost great relations. Can't we be a little bit more empathetic to them? Must we necessarily extract some information out of them in the time of their grief? So my brothers and sisters who are here with me and are in the media, I think that we will do it better. Now let's look at the don'ts. Quite a lot of don'ts. Yes, Please don't play stories about suicide prominently and don't unduly repeat such stories. Please, put the story, if you want to publish it, put the story in the middle. Just more, the whole idea is that, why are you doing this? Just to let the people, the public know that somebody has killed himself? Or just to sell? Please, there is no point putting the story out there prominently. In fact, elsewhere, I've lived in a country where you may go to prison as a journalist if you do that. Put the story out there on the front page. Don't use language which sensationalizes or normalizes suicide or present it as a constructive solution to problems. It is better dead than be dishonored. Sometimes on air we hear some of these things. Please let us check our language. In fact, sometimes we even trivialize it. I've listened to a lot of stories, suicide stories in the media, and I will not mention them. Some of you know, especially the local language. Sometimes the way we will just depict the story, we are either trivializing it or we are just being too sensational. Please, WHO is telling us that it doesn't help that much. Then please don't also explicitly describe the method used. The person is dead. Unfortunately, how he died, I don't think it's something that we should be concerned, but rather how we can prevent people from dying should be our focus. So by giving that graphic detail, I don't think it is helping. Then again, don't provide details about the site or the location. Somebody will be told that, okay, this place, when you go there, you can easily do it and succeed. Only yesterday I was talking to somebody and the person was like, I felt angry when I tried 3 times and I didn't die. She was telling me she felt angry with herself that she tried 3 times and she didn't die. Thank God she got some of us around, and now she looks back and was like, hey, was it really me who was trying to kill myself? So there's a lot we can all do. So when such a person, hears stories where we are giving graphic details, you are rather going to give her, the armament that she can use to eventually complete. Then, of course, don't use sensational headlines and don't also use photographs, video, or footage, or any social media links. Let's move on. Let's move on. Yes, so we try to look at how our brothers and sisters in the media, how they are adhering to these WHO guidelines. And so we did this research, online media surveillance. What we did was to just look at online portals of a few media units in Ghana and see whether they were actually going by the WHO guidelines. Let's see the results. Let's see the results. Yes, so a total of 288 news reports were drawn. I mean, 62 were from the public, 21% privately owned, 226, that is 78.5%. Of the 288 news reports, for suicides, that were recorded 261. Attempted suicide 7, and homicides, suicides 20. When we say homicide, suicide, somebody who kills somebody then eventually kills him or herself. Of the 261 completed suicides, we found 13 celebrity suicides in Ghana. I mean, sometime, I think in the past couple of years, we have had some prominent suicides and we categorize them under this group of suicides. All right, let's move on. All right, so these were the key observations. Generally, we saw that most of the included news reports failed to comply with the WHO guidelines. Most of them. And the statistics will shock you. 82.6% of these media portals included the term suicides in their headlines. Flagrant violation of WHO. 79.9% included the words commit. And please, as people who want to prevent suicide, let us stop using commit suicide. We commit a crime. We commit sin. And so if you are saying someone has committed suicide, of course, then you are also perpetrating the idea that suicide is a crime or suicide is sin. We have all come to know that suicide is what? It's a health crisis, life adversity that can push people in there. And so when we want to prevent it, then why do we have to impose this word that will stigmatize it? So here again, we saw that most journalists we found in this research were still using commit. You can use neutral terms, killed himself, died through suicide, and all that, not to use the word commit. 92.7 also mentioned the specific method. 66.3 provided detailed descriptions, of the methods. 92.7 also mentioned a specific place or location. 83.7 reported the names of the victims. The names of the victims. That is quite unfortunate. Of course, we had 50.3 also providing reader-generated comments. And sometimes when you read some of the comments, oh my God, most people are just insulting the deceased. Surprisingly, each of the 288 news reports analyzed failed to mention any of the potential helpful features recommended by WHO. No mention of where you can get help, no mention of crisis lines, no mention of mutual help groups, no mention of even professionals. This is research evidence. All right, let's move on. Okay, so what informs publication of suicide stories in Ghana? And so Prof. Akutia and the team also did this research, and they sought to examine the views, of news editors. In fact, we had a workshop where the journalists were telling us that, well, we will go with our story, but it is what the editors who decide what must go out. And so we did this research, Prof led the research, and again, we found some interesting, factors. Let's see. In fact, they put all this within four main, themes. One, deterrence. For some of them, they felt like by publishing it, they are going to make people, not do it. They are going to deter people from what? From killing themselves. That is what they thought. And so for them, publication rather would deter. And so we had somebody saying this. The consideration is that, I'm quoting, the consideration is that somebody has died through suicide, and it must be put out there for others to know that it is bad to commit suicide. And then, the only time lessons can be learned is when the issue is brought out in the media. And then discussions are generated in society and everyone condemns the act. So for them, that motivation for having to put the suicide stories the way they do it. Then they also came up with a theme called didactism. Here, they felt by putting it out there, they were also educating the public. There are certain stories that really caught public attention. And so by putting it out there, people will also learn a thing or two from it. So somebody said, and I quote, consideration, I think it is one of the human elements. The newsworthiness. Let's put newsworthiness first. It should be newsworthiness. The human element, it should be educative, informative, and interesting. It should be something that people would want to read over and over again. Someone should love reading what you have written. So you see the motivation behind this. Next. Then we also have celebritism. Celebritism. Here, it is about making money out of what? The suicide death of a prominent person. You actually make, profit with that story. So naturally, there is a saying that when you bleed, it sells. Bad news sells better than good news. And such is suicide. In fact, human beings will want to hear more bad news than good news. When they hear bad news, everybody is rushing to buy bad news. We also had one on ethics. Here we had only one person who was actually adhering to ethics of the GGA profession. He was even saying something that the GGA itself has code of ethics, and so they were religiously adhering to it. So these are some of the motivations that is really informing what is put out there, as far as suicide stories are concerned. Next. Yeah, so as I am ending, I want to just show you something briefly. Next slide. Yeah. So, what can we do as a people? First, I feel we must continue the education like we are doing. Go to the people where they are, the secondary schools. We must go there, go to the media, go to the police, as Prof was showing us. We need to see ourselves as stakeholders and then have specific training sessions for all of us so we can all improve our knowledge. Again, we can only do so by fostering partnerships. We can't be here at Legon and academics continue to do our research whilst others are also doing their own thing and there's no coordination. We need to build partnerships. And we thank God today we have Honorable here and they are all helping together for us to achieve the aim of especially decriminalization, as Prof has said. We can't do so when we don't work together. Let us also deepen cultural sensitivities. As a people, we have a culture. Even death, there are cultural injunctions on talking about death. So why do we then want to compromise this when it comes to suicide? Let us go back to our culture and let's see what our culture tells us when it comes to some of these sensitivities in our society. Again, I believe that we can have national suicide prevention policy when we continue to sustain this advocacy we are doing with the media being inclusive. Then we must also develop local guidelines. Yeah, WHO has given us broad guidelines, but it is also expecting us to develop locally relevant guidelines, okay, just for our context. I think we need to also get there. I am thinking that one of the things we can do, and I think, guys, this is not something beyond our reach. Prof, you are with me. Let us institute awards for responsible reporting of suicides, in Ghana. Let us do that. One, we can do it as guests ourselves annually when we meet like this. Bring in one journalist that we have seen that is doing the right thing, award him or her. Or we can also sponsor an award at GJA's Awards Night. Just so people will know that we are watching them. Okay, we are watching them. And as a community psychologist, I believe in the power of what? Rewarding people who are doing well in the society. All right, but the last I would want to say is about bereavement. I said it earlier. My brothers and sisters in the media, when people lose their relation, they lose a lot, they go through a lot. This is not just normal death, that comes with its own problems. It is also death that is stigmatized, and so they are living two double agonies. And so let us not so much rush into wanting them to talk, and especially those of us who are also advocates. Please, sometime when you get a call, a suicide happens and you get a call, they call you, talk about it. Don't rush to talk when you don't have any evidence. My research exposed me to a lot of things. I did psychological autopsy study. What we hear as cause of people's suicides are nowhere near the real underlying issues. Let us not rush. Let us allow the police, let us allow the system to do its well, its work, so we can also show some passion and sensitivity to those who are grieving this unfortunate loss. I think together we can do something about that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Johnny Andoatha. Can we give it to him again? Thank you for that. I know our media men and women have learned a lot this afternoon, and all of us are going to support them to do the right thing. We are now on a very important part of this program. And like you heard throughout our program, there's a need for more funding for this cause to be successful. So we are going to launch our association for suicide prevention, and then we will also seek for support in terms of money to help us fund this work or this project. So I'll call on Professor Joseph Osafo to lead us in this launch. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable will be helping us. I just want to clear the air. Technical committee, if you can take this off for now. Take it off for now. Okay. All right. So we are going to launch GASP, Ghana Association for Suicide Prevention. Not only that, we have a program that we want to launch along with GASP. And the program is called Hope Squad. So Hope Squad is a program where we go to schools, and as we get to the tail end of this, we are going to recognize one NGO that we have been collaborating with, and we'll show you how far that NGO has gone in suicide prevention. So in Hope Squad, we go to schools and we build the resilience of our children, who in turn will help another child who is in trouble. So it's a program for such children. So as Honorable, I'll be inviting right now to help us launch GASP. We'll be launching that together with the Hope Squad. And when the NGO and GASP come to the school, we're going to be running that program and be introducing it in our schools. So one child can be an inspiration and can be a peer support for another child who is going through trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the podium our Honorable Ahiako, who is a ranking member, to help us launch GASP and the Hope Squad. And then I will come back and we will tell you, yes, what we have on the table for you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for this great opportunity. It is not only by my power, but with the power of the Almighty God. I declare Ghana Association for Suicide Prevention duly launched. May the good Lord strengthen, guide, and protect this association to perform very diligently and reliably in suicide prevention in Ghana and beyond. I launched GASP together with Hope Squad. And on behalf of my committee, Constitutional, Legal, and Parliamentary Affairs of Parliament, with the fundraising, we are raising an amount of 5,000 Ghana cedis. And in a short while, I'll hand over the check to the association. I thank you for giving me this great honor and opportunity. May God bless all of us.
Bless you. Please give it to him. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. So we told you that this parliamentary select committee are really, really into this thing, and we also want to recognize their presence. I am also at this juncture. We are going to do this sales quickly. Then we'll call the committee that are going to be interim leadership for GASP. So, whereas the Parliamentary Select Committee is helping GASP sowing a seed into them, I also want to recognize another person who has sown a seed. When she got here, she gave us the money, cash. And that is Mr. and Mrs. Kuono. They are sowing a seed into GASP, 1,500 Ghana cedis. They didn't see you. They didn't see you. You sat down too quick. Yes. They are sowing. So I've already handed over that money to my team members, and it is in safe hands. So you can see these beautiful T-shirts. And team members, if you don't mind, if you can stand for others to see. We have a couple of these T-shirts here. We want, the printing of the T-shirt is 40 cedis. No, 45 cedis. 45 cedis. So if you buy one, you are sowing a seed into GASP. But we will encourage you. Today, I am paying for about 5 or 10. I bought about 5 or 10 for some people. You can decide that I'll give you 100 cedis for one, 200 cedis for one, 60 cedis for one. At least help us pay for the printing. One was 45 cedis. And if you wear one at home, and your child sees it and says, Mommy, what is GASP? You tell him or her that suicide is not an option. Is that correct? You will see that what is, let me see your back. What is on the back? Hope is here. And the front is GASP. And we have, you will see our symbol, we have a Dinkra symbol that is a symbol of hope. So listen, gentlemen, Marley, come and help me. Those ones that are in the red packs, yes, they are going for 500 cedis and beyond. If you want to, they are specially designed, and you are just sowing a seed into us and say, I was part of this. Child Rights International head all we are doing, and he said, I work on children, over 90,000 children in Ghana, and so I'll give you support. Child Rights give us 10,000 Ghana cedi to support us. I mean, if you look at what Child Rights has done. So someone is helping us buy this one quickly. 500 cities and above. You want to pick one and say, I'm sowing a seed into this. We are also on YouTube Live, and we are on Zoom. So those of you online, please put your chat in there. If you want to buy it, say, yes, sir, I'm picking 2 for you. Okay, so who is helping us take the first one? And be the next person supporting us. Please put your hands together for our PhD student, Madam Beatrice Jumfo. Beatrice, please come forward. Oh, please. We are supporting you. Please get up. Please get up. Yeah, put your hands together for her. Wonderful. Wonderful. She's sowing a seed into GASP. I know one day she'll become one of the presidents because her work is on suicide. Her work, a PhD, is on suicide. Wonderful. Mama ni dinko chukunkunu mamena. Yes, the second one, who is helping us? Yes, who is helping us? Okay, it looks like somebody is online. Honorable Enimadu is online. Shall we put our hands together for Honorable Enimadu? Is Honorable giving us something? Okay, he wants to talk. Honorable, please. We miss you. Tell us something beautiful and sweet.
Right. Thank you very much. I've been following the program, and my colleague have done it all, having done the program. Most of you wouldn't know, but the background to my colleague and myself moving a motion in Parliament for this project was that I lost a daughter myself through suicide. An 18-year-old young lady who was reading biochemistry at KNUST in 2017 on 24th of February committed suicide. I actually engaged the best investigators, and we couldn't actually get to the bottom of this. At least, at first I thought it was foul play or somebody having murdered my dear one, but it turned out that it was suicide. The question is that if my daughter had not succeeded in committing suicide, would I have been happy if she was prosecuted for attempted suicide? And this moved me into agreeing with my friend to actually prepare a bill and put it before Parliament. We are on the reading, and we'll be doing the second reading pretty soon. It's a pleasure that you put us which has to be going to the schools. I have thought that on my own I could initiate this, and I couldn't. But if there is such a group, I think I will be the first member of this association.
Let's put our hands together.
Yes, it is my hope that as a member of this association, we would actually touch families, young men and young ladies, that will be contemplating anything of the sort, so that we will prevent this permanently for our society. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So I put our hands together, and we just want to alert Honorable that he is actually the live patron for this association. And in his absence, we'll be calling, when we get there, in the next 10 minutes, we'll get there, and then Honorable Ahako will step in for you and get decorated as the patron when we get there. So shall we put our hands together for Honorable Madu? Amazing. Madam Charity has added another. She wants to make a few words, and perhaps she has something to tell us for wanting to buy one pack again, in addition to the 1,500 she has given us. So, Madam, do you want to say something?
Okay, so I'm very, very happy for this new vision that has been opened and launched, and it's very, very positive. I want all of us to back with prayer, with financial support, any material support to help this go far, because as a church leader, we meet a lot of these challenges. People coming to us and they are at the verge of committing or at the verge of attempting suicide and taking up their lives. So I'm so happy that this has been launched, and I plead all our support to help this become a reality so that it will go from age to age and support our youth and our upcoming adults. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Those of you who watch Pen TV, this is the woman who hosts the counseling hour, and she's a clinical psychologist and a PhD student. She knows what she's talking about. Let me recognize the presence of Squadron Leader CB Otu, a psychiatrist from the 37 Military Hospital and Therapy and Wellness, who is at Therapy and Wellness and is amongst us. Shall we recognize his presence? Wonderful. So you see, people are really interested. Honorable Squadron Leader, Officer, all correct, sir. And there are people who heard us on radio and decided to come here to see what is happening. If you are here like that, can you shoot your hand in the air? Let's recognize you. You heard us on radio. Somebody said she was, I think she's left, but quite a number of them heard us on radio and they were here. So thank you very, very much. I'm putting the Momo number out. Some of you are requesting for the Momo number. Please, you can write it. You can send your support on this Momo number 0543 0543 0543 092 092 092 787 787 787. Let me start again. 0543 0543 092 092 787. The name on it is Mabel Uti Boedi. That is the lady behind me, Mabel Uti Boedi. Yes. Do we have, quickly, we get this, only 4 left. Who is helping us? Wonderful. Put your hands together. Wonderful. 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 Tell them how much so that you can run behind it and give it to her. This ones are going 500 and beyond. So any, please. Yes. We have the special, we have only 2 left.
We can send Momo right away.
We have only 2 left. Who is helping us? Gasp. Let your name, let your name be written. We have only 2 left. Who is helping us? We have only 2 left. Only 2 left. Wonderful. Our sister is from the Chicago School of Psychology, United States of America. She joined us a few days ago and we invited her and she said, I am coming. Put your hands together for her. She's supporting us. Please give her and write her name so that we know. This is a brother from JPCC, my own brother. Asigi, you have done well. God bless you. Put it together for him. All right. Now we've sold all the special ones. Oh, we have one left. Please help us. Help us. Help us. Oh, what's my 500? What's the market now? I now 200. Somebody is taking this for 500. Please, who's taking it? Please help us. Look, if you help us and you are in crisis, you can call us for free. We'll be there. We'll be there. We won't charge you. Help us. Somebody should pick up this one for us. That's the last one. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. All right. Is anybody coming? Okay. These ones are going for 45 minimum. That is what we use in printing. 45 CDs minimum. So if you give us from 45 and above, we want it. Please help us. Wonderful. Somebody has bought 2. Please, 1. Put your hands together. Wonderful. You know these ladies were. If you give us 200 CDs for this, we'll take. This one is especially for 200 CDs. Yes, 45 CDs minimum. Please help us. Help us. Put your hands together for this sister. She's a therapist. Oh, mommy, God bless you so much. God bless you so much. God bless you so much. God bless you. God bless you. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, you are working on suicide, so you have to buy one. She's buying it for 200 CDs. Thank you very much. Please give her an envelope. She's buying this one for 200. Yes. Is it here? And when you just send it and then we just.
When you send the momo, then you come here.
Send it by empire in so.
Send the penawaba.
Yes, please help us. Help us. Help us. Help us. Yes. Oh, squadron officer, all correct. All correct, sir. Squadron is very much interested in this and he's left his work to just come and join us here. Please put your hands together for him. God bless you, sir. Yes, help us. Everybody should wear one here. Otherwise, if somebody is online and wants to talk, please let's allow. Oh, Honorable has given us 400 CDs for one. Please put your hands together for officer. Somebody is online and wants to make a comment. Let us listen to the online participant. Madam, the floor is yours. Oh, put your hands together. No way is calling. put it together, put it together, put it together. Madame Vivian, I just want to pick up the name, Vivian Crew. Oh. Yes, we'll put the Momo number in the chat room. You will see the Momo number in the chat room, so you can pick it up. So Boatma, put the Momo number in the chat room, and she can pick it up. Shall I put our hands together for her? Wonderful. Yes, everybody should live here dressed as gasp. Otherwise, you are an illegal occupant. Yes, please. Shall we take it? This is 45 cedis minimum, the printing cost. Yes. Wonderful. Put your hands together for Madame. God bless you for stepping into this. And I know that, okay, she has paid the mumu. She has paid the mumu. Thank you very much. And this is Ghana Psychological Council. They are pledging 1,000 Ghana cedis. And the acting registrar is here. Acting registrar, we want to recognize your presence. Please, if you are here, acting registrar, please put your hands together for the acting registrar. Thank you so much, Ghana Psychological Council.
So we have Benes Boche. Please, can I see your hands? That's 500 cedis. So Benes has paid. And wonderful. Then we have 500 cedis. Venice.
Please, who is Venice?
Venice.
Oh, wonderful.
And then we have Ernesta Sigri, thank the Ghana Pentecostal Council. Yes. It's also 500 cedis. And then we have Jamila too. Thank you, 50 cedis. Oredua Jiman, 100 cedis. Please raise your hand for us to see you. Thank you. And Ethel Obeng, thank you so much. 200 cedis. So those are the ones we've received so far. And then Ghana. Okay, also. So we are acknowledging Ghana Psychology Council pledged 1,000 Ghana cedis. Thank you. And then we have, okay, so I mentioned Asigri. And then Naomi. Walanyo, 50 cedis. 50 cedis. Okay. So we wait for that. Olanyo. Olanyo has paid. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so I have just 3 minutes to be done. Please, who is coming, help us. We have a couple of them here. Let's clear the table. Let's clear the table. Let's clear the table. Okay. I am also buying, I'm buying 2 at 100 cedis. I'm buying 2. So please keep it for me. And I want extra large, extra large. Extra large, extra large. So I'm paying mine. That is mine. Yes. And then Dr. Mabel Otibuyadi is also buying 2. She told me right now.
Hey, I'm also buying 2.
High table, any other person? Dr. Afutu is buying 2 at how much? 100 cedis. 100 cedis. Shall I put our hands together for him? Okay, so anybody who is buying, please, we just want to clear this and then move. Dr. Kwashi is also buying 2. Please, supply them quickly. We want to. Dr. Kwashi is buying 2. Yes, please, anybody, we're finishing. Dr. Ando Ata. We are the men who are fighting this, so all of us are buying it. I have paid mine, so I don't owe gasp. We want to clear the thing and then we go. Please, just help us. Let's clear it. Let's clear it. Let's clear it. Please, go there. That is Doctor. Doctor, mention your name. Oh. Dr. O2, from distance education. Put your hands together for her. She's buying one. God bless you. You must wear it. Just wear it and spread the news. God will save someone. Amen. And God will save someone. All right. We have 2 minutes, and then we are calling the executives because Honorable must leave. And then Miss Inkulinu, 50 CDs. Miss Inkulinu. Oh, maybe. Where are you?
I'm here.
Miss Inkulinu, 50 CDs. God bless you. Another person. Madam Otu. Okay, put it in. So we have just a few left and then we are done. Somebody should surprise us and say, I'm taking all 1,000. We'll give it to you. And then we'll write your name at the Holy of Holies in the book of Gasp. Online. 2 people are online. Let's listen to the online. 2 people are buying something online. Please go ahead. The first person online, tell us what you are helping us with. Online, please go ahead. Dr. Oh, the Psychiatric Association of Ghana. This is Dr. Uswentri. Please write a name. Dr. Uswentri, the Momo number is on the chart. Please, shall I put our hands together for the Psychiatric Association of Ghana? They are buying two at 100 cities. Professor Charity Akotia, who is the chair for IAS chair for Ghana, is buying 2. Shall we put our hands together for her? There is still somebody online. Is there anybody online too who wants to buy? The Momo is in the chat room. Just pick the Momo number. We will reserve, please. Dr. Afutu, reserve the Psychiatric Association 2 for them. Reserve 2 for them. So pick it so that we don't. Are we done?
Yes.
GPC, they have redeemed. They have shall I put their hands now for GPC. How many? 2. Yes, GPC. Give it to GPC for us. Give it to GPC. This is for another person. All right. Lady, the money you gave to us, you have already. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, we have to move to the next level and then run up. Please, there are envelopes here. Wonderful. Put your hands together for them. Ghana Academy of Muslim Professionals are pledging 200 cities. Please give them 2 t-shirts. And then give them the envelope. They will send it on the Momo. So let them write the details so that. Please put your hands together for them. Our colleague Muslims, we invited them and they came. We invited them and they came. Thank you for drawing our attention. We didn't know you were here. Thank you so much. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, where we've got into, we want to quickly adore the maiden executives of GASP. And technical committee project the maiden executives for GASP quickly. And when I call them, they will line up here. And then Professor Akotia will be dressing them up in their offices for us. So when I call the name, you clap and the person will come and line up here. The first person who is the president is Dr. Emmanuel Neboy Kwashi. The second person, the vice president, is Mrs. Gloria Boatma Ando. The third person who is the treasurer is Dr. Mabel Uti Buedi. The fourth person who is the secretary is Dr. Johnny Ando Atta. Then the fifth person is, who is the organizer, is Madam Ajwa Pra. So you can see where it's coming from all over. Then, last but not the least, is Dr. Larry Afutu, who is the PRO stepping in for Mental Health Authority. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to also call in front Honorable Animadu, who is online, but duly and ably represented by Honorable Anyako as a patron for this. So he will stand here. I'll call on Professor Akotia, who is the rep, International Association for Suicide Prevention. They are rep in Ghana, Professor Akotia, to help dress them. She herself is a patron, but she will help dress them. Okay, so we are going to start with the, hold on. Is it president? No. We're starting with the president. Is it president? It's arranged. So you should have been this way. Yes. So madam, start from this way. She'll put it on their neck, starting from where Nibo is. When she dresses them, you put your hands together. Mr. President. Put your hands together as Dr. Nibo Ekwashi. This is historic. Madam Gloria Ando, historic. Put your hands together for her. They are going to make GASP an international association. Dr. Mabel Oti Buedi is the treasurer. Treasurer, yes, that one. You can't see the treasurer? Treasurer, what do you hear? Put your hands together for organizing committee. So maybe what do you hear? This is PR. PR, shall I put our hands together? And this is our patron, live patron. Please put your hands together for Honorable Ahiako stepping in for Honorable Anyimadu online. Honorable Ahiako is getting dressed up for you. Bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. I think that the patron will have left it. Please, let's dress Mrs. Mabel Utibwedi. We'll work on that. Let's put our hands together for her. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to hand over the microphone to Professor Kotia to adore this interim executive.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, here we are with Ladies and gentlemen, here we are with the executives of our newly formed Ghana Association for Suicide Prevention. We entrust the association into your hands, and we know that you are capable of moving it forward. We want to see a lot of preventive work in Ghana. We trust you. We know that you can deliver. Thank you very much. Let's clap for them. Thank you very much, our patron, live patron, for being here with us and accepting to be the live patron. Thank you, Honorable.
Shall I put our hands together for them as they take their seats? Please take your seat. Let's put our hands together for them. And then we're going to the latter part quickly. And then we are going for lunch and we are out. At this stage, we want to quickly acknowledge a particular NGO who has been working assiduously in this area. Technical committee, please project this for us as we prepare for this. We are well informed currently that Madam Kru, who spoke to us online from Norway, has sent 1,000 cedis to support. So confirm, Madam Kru, 1,000 cedis. Madam Kru.
It's received, Madam Vivian Kru. We are grateful for your money. It's come through. Thank you.
Shall I put our hands together to support, to honor and acknowledge Madam. All right, and so I want us to recognize an NGO that is helping us in this area. Please, technical committee, show us the pictures and let us call that NGO out.
Ghana Academy of Muslim Professionals. We are grateful. Yours is also through. God bless you.
As we end up, please, UTV, please have patience, okay? Don't go. As we run up, we just want to recognize Winglow Family International. This is what the NGOs that quickly joined us about 5 years ago came to us. She wanted to do suicide prevention purely based on data. And you know, most NGOs wouldn't do that. She approached us. I remember I've been part of a number of programs. There was one we had right at the Tetekwashi interchange. And it was awesome. She's gone to schools, you can see. She's been recognized in the USA. She's been trained on this Hope Squad. She goes to school. In fact, coming week she'll be going to Accra Girls, as you can see on the pictures as they roll. She goes out to feed people in the public. In fact, during the COVID, they gave food to about 1,000 street children. They fed them. Now, if you don't know this, let me tell you, in Ghana, hunger leads to suicide. So when you feed people, you are simply being suicide preventing. Today, the Department of Psychology, Center for Suicide and Violence Research, and the Outdoor GASP, we want to recognize this wonderful job being done by Winglow Family International, led by Madame Gloria Ando Boatman. And we want to invite Honorable Ahiako, our chairman, to present an award. There are some things writing, some short writings on the award I want Honorable to read, and then present it on behalf as a rep patron on behalf of GASP and all the stakeholders here for Madam Boatma Ando and Winglow Family International. Winglow Family International.
Winglow Family International.
You have led the fight against suicide.
You have led the fight against suicide
In our country.
And school.
You have done very well.
You have done very well. GASP.
And CSVR.
And CIVR.
Ghana.
Ghana.
Recognize
recognize you with this award of excellence. And I present it to you on behalf of GASP.
Thank you very much. I'm so grateful. First of all, I want to thank God for this award. And I want to dedicate this award to my dad and my little sister and everyone who played a role in my life. I'm so grateful. And to Prof, I'm so grateful.
Let's put your hands together for Boatma is such filled with passion for this job, and we want to encourage all NGOs. Now, GASP embraces all NGOs, all psychiatrists, all psychologists, any mental health worker, pastors, religious leaders who want to be part of this wonderful job. And so, Boatma, we are proud of you, and we will give you full support. You can see Dr. Kwashi, Prosakuti, and the others all around you to make this wonderful work we are doing a real success. Ladies and gentlemen, before I hand over to the MC to run up the program, I want to acknowledge again our sponsors. And please, when I mention them, kindly put your hands together for them because they have done very well. The first is Jospon Group of Companies. The second is Child Rights International. The third is Compassion International Ghana. And then the last but not the least is Family Prayer. They have done an enormous job to make this a reality. And for those of you who have also supported this, you are our sponsors and want to just still acknowledge you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Joseph, for suffering. Let's clap for ourselves. You've done a good job. You've supported us so much, and we are grateful. We are thankful to Dr. Andoartha. The money has come through. Kenneth Care. Please, who's representing Kenneth Care? Somebody sent 500 CDs from Kenneth Care. So if you know them, please, we've received it. And then Dr. Ruth Owusu-Entwi, 100 CDs has come through. And then Psychiatric Association of Ghana, that's Dr. Ruth Owusu-Entwi. And then Dr. Joanna Laria Futu, 300 CDs. Thank you all for that. Okay, so before we go, Professor Kotia also gave us 100 CDs for her T-shirts. Before we go, please, if you are Mr. Emmanuel Foko, please, are you here? Okay, thanks for coming. Dr. Adjoa Kusichre. Dr. Adjoa Kusichre. Okay. Mr. Emmanuel Foko is representing Dr. Amabuedu from the Mental Health Unit, Ghana Health Service. Shall we see you, please? Thank you so much for coming. Okay, so now we are on our closing remarks. And you remember we told you that there's full lunch for all of us. So we'll all go down there as we did for the snack break, and we'll take our lunch. So we'll call on Professor Charity Akotia to come give us our closing remarks. Let's welcome her with a round of applause, please.
What can I say? I think we are all happy. We've had a very fruitful deliberations today. We've had a whole lot. You agree with me, isn't it? Yes. And I think that it's been very successful. Data has been shared with us, and this data clearly indicates how much has been done when it comes to suicide research in Ghana. The situation, I must say, is alarming, as even one death by suicide should not be tolerated. Suicide is largely preventable. And so we must all join hands to help those who are in distress, to help them so that they can come out of the distress. One of the speakers said that suicide is everyone's business. It is. You know, the factors that come into play are multifactorial factors. So we need all hands on board to be able to tackle suicide. So it's everybody's business. If we are all watchful, we are all sensitive to those around us, we will be able to identify that someone is in distress, and even if we cannot do anything about it personally, we can refer such people to professionals who will help them. We have also heard about efforts that are being made in Ghana to facilitate suicide prevention. Professor Safo spoke a lot about some of the training programs that we've held in the past, and also the stakeholder meetings that we've conducted. All these have yielded results. And I must say that one of the results is the culmination into these gaps that we are forming today. The presentation on the media has also been very enlightening. I'm sure the media personnel here will go out there having a different orientation about how to present suicide stories. In all of this, I must say that the launch of the gaps is a good venture. Too many lives are being lost, too many others' lives are being shattered, and there is too much heartache around. We all have to take action and do something about the situation. Ladies and gentlemen, let me leave you with the ethos of one of the renowned suicide researchers in the world, Professor Diego Deleu, which says, share the knowledge, translate the evidence into action, never underestimate the power of human warmth and empathy. I leave this with you. Let us all continue the fight against suicide in our communities. Thank you very much for spending the time with us today.
I thought that you should add another one. And so, before the lady who's going to do the vote of thanks comes, I want to just make an announcement. Please, the media, let me see the media. The media, are they here? Media, please, the media, when you finish, please see us here. As soon as we say the vote of thanks, we are all taking a picture here and then here. Then we just go down and eat. So all the media, please, as soon as we say we are going, please come here and see me before we take the picture and move.
Okay, so we are on to our last item. That is our vote of thanks. We'll call on Mrs. Emma Asen Apia to deliver our vote of thanks. Thank you.
I know I'm standing in between you and lunch. However, our gratitude unexpressed would be as unwrapped parcels. So I would like to say a big thank you on behalf of GASP and all the people that put the work into this for us to be here. I'll not bore us with acknowledgements because all the acknowledgements have been done. But our Honorable Chair, Honorable Ahiapo, and your team, Ahiapo and your team, and then everyone who was invited and made it here for your thought, and especially to those who joined us online for their thought, because even without being watched, most of them have stayed through. We are so grateful. We are very, very grateful. And we pray that it will not end here. You'll continue to support the association and the work. And anytime we call upon you, you would answer. We thank you. God bless you. Enjoy lunch and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Asen Apia. All too soon, we have come to the end of our program. Again, Mr. Emmanuel Foucault, please see the president for the association, Dr. Niboy Pashi, my far left. See him after the program, please. Okay, so we started with prayer and we will end with prayer. So we'll call on Mr. Asigri to come and give us a closing prayer.
Shall we pray? Our Heavenly Father, we thank you this afternoon. We began this workshop with you, and you have taken us through successfully. We thank you for all that has happened here, and we thank you for the life of this new association, GASP. We commit the leadership into your hands, and we commit the task ahead. Father, without you on their side, they can do nothing. We commit them into your hands. We commit their vision into your hands. Everything they have set out to save humanity through suicide prevention, we ask that you grant them the wisdom, you grant them the resources, you grant them the connections. Wherever they go, they will find favor. And our Lord, through this association, many lives would be saved. We commit each and every one who has been here to grace this occasion. Grant us travel mercies back to our various homes and workplaces, and that when we have arrived safely, we'll have every cause to give you the praise. This have we asked in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
A short announcement as we go. We come for pictures and then we go for lunch. You saw our works outside. We have your emails. The president and executive will take your email, be sending you messages. If you want any of our materials, including the slides, we will share with you. We just want learnings on suicide to be widespread. So we can share as much as you want with you so that it doesn't become just theoretical. Thank you very much and God bless you. So shall we come forward here? Photographer, please help us quickly on this. Okay, so please, high table, let's first take. And then the invited guests, please join us. Please don't go. We're taking pictures. High table, please.